Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion, as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content. Hello everybody, Jay here, back with another Off Script with Super E. Here to my left, as always, is my good friend A-Train. A-Train, say a little something.
Hi, everybody. It is great to be here with you. We're going to listen to Ernie tell us another tale here in just a minute.
Super
E, A-Train.
God damn it. Super E's going to tell us a tale, everybody.
Oh, will it ever stop? Super E, say something.
How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing great. All right. All right, before this completely just goes, Super E, just tell us a tale, man.
All right. Well, again, this is kind of a Reno 911 thing, like we talked about last time.
Another one.
Oh yeah. Well,
please tell me this does not involve feet.
It doesn't involve no.
Okay.
Good.
I can take anything but feet.
No.
All right.
No feet.
Thank you.
However, you will by the end of the story, you will envision a dog wearing a smoking jacket and sunglasses. But
I cannot wait to get there.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to get there. All right.
But anyways, so I'm sitting in the office, minding my own business, and the secretary patches a call of a complaint to me. And the woman on the other end...
Who says that anymore? Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Patch a call through, Patty.
Hey, could you patch a call? Sarah, get me my house. Maybe transfer to call? All right.
Super, you tell it however you want to tell it.
Is Andy Griffith done prattling on?
Yes, he is.
Sorry.
Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, okay. So the secretary transferred a phone call to me of a complaint. And on the other end of this phone call was a woman. She was irritated. Said she lived in a trailer park, a very small trailer park on the east side of the city we worked. And she was upset because in this small trailer park, she said a woman was prostituting from her trailer. And I was like, okay. She goes, go out there and lock her up for prostitution. I had explained to her I had to build probable cause. You just can't go lock somebody up, throw cuffs on them, and haul them away without any evidence. And then I tried to explain to her, I just can't go knock on the door and go, hi, I'm here for the prostitution. And so I tried to get as much information from the complainant about this woman as I could, just to try to think of something of like, hey, Mike sent me or something like that. But, she really didn't give me anything. So I knew I was on my own with this one.
Okay.
So I said, I advised her, ma'am, I'm going to do the best I can. It's going to be difficult, but I'll see what I can do for you. And I'm not done with my complaint. I want you to do something else. And I go, well, what's that? Well, I want you also to lock her up for dealing cocaine. I'm like, somebody's going to be nervous about a guy walking up asking for sex for money. If a guy walks up asking for cocaine, people like her was probably using it too.
Right.
Because she's not like a dealer. I think she was a user and she might have sold a little bit herself.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, then she's going to be paranoid. And so that's what I explained to them. She might be a little paranoid, but again, I'll do the best I can. I will try to get her for prostitution. Then I'll try to get her for dealing cocaine. Mm-hmm. I'll do what I can. Mm-hmm. I said, but ma'am, I'll keep you updated and I'll let you know how it's going. I said, this could take a while. I'm going to have to get this woman's confidence. She's going to have to trust me. I'm not done yet. I want you to lock her up for something else. I go, well, what's that? And she says, well, I want you to lock her up because once a week she has a bunch of men over at her trailer and they pay her so they can watch her get fucked by her dog. And of course, I was like, can you repeat that 10-9?
Yeah, repeat that to us too.
Yeah, come back with that. She's, yeah, she has me come over they give her a bunch of money, and she has that dog fuck her. And I was like, oh my God.
Was it a male or a female dog, Joanne?
Well, I'm taking for granted. But again, I try to explain to her, ma'am, that's going to be difficult.
Discriminate on this podcast.
Yeah.
She could be lesbian. Okay. The dog could be.
Yeah, it is possible.
Yeah, it was possible.
Okay.
And so anyways, but I try to explain to her, again, you just don't knock on the door, and say, can you screw the pooch for some money and I can watch?
Right.
So anyways, I tell her, give me some time. I'll get back with you. So the next day I go to this small trailer park. I go inside to look around. I see the woman's trailer with her address, and I see a refrigerator in the front yard. Again, not on the porch with the couch, but in the front yard with a for sale sign on it.
Oh.
And I'm like, bingo. That gives me a reason for knocking on her door.
Yeah, you're going to go up and talk to her about that fridge for sale, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we went from talking about, hey, does it got plenty of room in the vegetable bin? That she was going to give me head for $25 U.S. currency. And so I was able to.
How do you bridge that? How do you make that?
I can't remember,
insight.
but it was a smooth transition. Yeah. She was a little cautious. They're not idiots. She tried to. She kind of gave me some cop tests, I believe, but I passed. She agreed to do it, but I don't want to lock her up right then, because if I did that, I'm not going to get the cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Nor am I going to get the luckiest dog in the world. I mean, so
man, that dog's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So
he's
for
not going to be happy.
For our listeners' sake, can you describe her a little bit? What's the physical attributes of her, if any?
Well, if you take Selma and Patty from The Simpsons and combine it, and even a more nicotine raspy voice, that's what she was like.
Wow.
Yeah. She was no swimsuit model.
Okay. No blue hair though, right?
No blue hair. It was like kind of a reddish, mutant looking hair, if I remember correctly. But not super attractive, if I recall.
Okay.
And so, since I couldn't lock her up right then, I had to say, well, I got to be somewhere right now, but I'll have money this Wednesday, which this was on a Monday. I'll have money this Wednesday. I'm going to come back by and hook up with you. Are you cool with that? She's like, yes. See, because I needed at least a couple of days to figure out how in the hell am I going to get the cocaine and then apparently now the holy grail of the dog.
Right.
And
did you go down the hall and borrow some equipment from A-Train? Because I remember you frequently would borrow stuff.
No, I don't. No, I didn't.
What kind of equipment are you talking about? Like a dog shock collar? What? You mean like recording stuff and all that?
Device.
Cameras? Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
I get it.
See, what do you guys always? Every time I interject,
remember.
you guys think of something bad.
I can't remember if I did or not, but what I did come up with, because in these situations where you're worried about the suspected drug dealer or the criminal involved, you're always worried about them worrying about you being a police officer, because these people they make sure they don't want to go to jail. So they have in their mind what a police officer trying to do undercover work, what they look like and what their tactics are going to be. Okay. So you've got to get the suspect comfortable enough to sell you the cocaine, as in this situation, and not thinking that you're a police officer. And what I have found out in the numerous years I've done this, if they think that you have some sort of physical handicap or something like that, there's many times in the past I've told my informants to tell the drug dealer who said, I don't want to meet anybody new, don't bring anybody new to me, you're the only one I will sell to. Well, generally what you do in that situation, I would tell my informant to advise the drug dealer, hey, this guy's just going to drive me up, but if you talk to him, he's deaf in one ear, so you're going to have to talk into his on the left side of it. And that just puts in the person's mind, oh, this guy's deaf. And then he's thinking, well, okay, he's probably not a cop then. I would use the thing about being deaf or blind in one eye or something like that.
So it just kind of puts them off a little bit in that,
yes.
What cop's going to say I'm deaf in one ear or blind in one ear? It's just a distraction.
And believe me, it worked. And so I used it. So I was thinking, I need this woman to sell me some cocaine, but I got to make her comfortable enough that she will sell it to me without any worries or anything like that, or putting us through a bunch of changes where she takes the money and then travels by herself somewhere where we don't know where she's going or anything like that. I want her to be as comfortable with me as possible.
Right.
So what my idea was, I thought about this. I thought to myself, I'm going to have somebody come with me, a younger looking officer who works narcotics. In our department, we had like a large narcotics unit. Then we had several smaller ones that worked the district. In one of the district, there was a young guy, but he was kind of premature, not premature gray, but he was going bald. He was only like 27. He was losing his hair. He's kind of thin. And I thought to myself, I know what I could do, because he would be my backup right there too. That helps out. You got somebody right there as backup,
right,
in case anything goes wrong. So I thought, I think I know how I could make this woman be relaxed with us and sell us the cocaine without making it more complicated. It would just be from us, from her to me.
Mm-hmm.
I called her up and I told her, hey, I'll be there later today, but I've got my younger cousin with me because he's having some problems. I go, he's mentally challenged. They've got him hooked on crack, and he's been being taken advantage of and beaten up by some drug dealers. I can't get him to quit doing the stuff. But he's going to be with me. And she was like, okay, no problem. So immediately, I think any leeriness of me went right out the window when I said, hey, I've got my cousin with me who's mentally challenged, and I'm having to deal with this situation of him being taken advantage of by crack dealers.
And again, you're trying to make her comfortable with you, and
right.
You're going to bring along your younger cousin who you say is mentally challenged and addicted to crack.
Crack,
so
yes.
You're kind of you're trying to just put her at ease. And
put her at ease
mm-hmm.
and have backup with me, because we're going into an area where, you can't have surveillance in there because everybody knows a strange car, and you just can't have two guys sitting in there watching.
Right.
It wouldn't work. They're going to have to be a long way away. They're going to have to be a half mile away
mm-hmm.
at a gas station or wherever.
Mm-hmm. And in this way, that your backup, I mean, you're trying to make him as harmless as possible.
Yes.
To
not
put her at ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As unthreatening as possible.
Right.
And so I'm explaining to this unit on the south side of town. I said, this is what I need. I will take the prostitution arrest. I'm going to give you guys the drug arrest if we can get the cocaine. But that's a big if.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, what do you need? Well, I'm going to need this, this, and I'm going to need somebody to do the undercover with me. And I picked out this guy that I was thinking about, and he agreed to do it. He goes, I'm really not good at doing undercover. That's not my strong suit. I said, believe me, you don't have to do too much. He goes, what do I do? I said, you got to act mentally challenged. Okay. And he was like, say what? And I said, and I said, hear me out. Uh-huh. This is why I need you to do. And I explained to him what we just talked about. Got to put this woman at ease. I got to make her feel comfortable with selling us the cocaine. And and then you're going to be like my backup right there, because nobody else can get close to us. And we don't know who else is in these trailer parks. We don't know how many people are in there got guns or anything like that.
Right.
So he was like, he did not want to do it, but I just said, just follow my lead. So as we're driving up there, he's having doubts about himself. I said, you can do it. It's just you're role playing, you're playing a part. And so as we get up there, I was hoping he was going to go maybe with a Dustin Hoffman, kind of a gentle Rain Man, soft-spoken.
Right.
No, unfortunately, he went with Timmy from South Park.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, this ain't going to work at all. He's like, and I'm like, what the? I was kind of giving, as I was walking up to the door, knocking on it, I was kind of giving him the throat thing. Hey, easy.
It's a little aggressive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tone it down there. Knock on the door. The woman comes out. She's kind of eyeing us. Hey, what's going on here with this dude? And I said, this is a guy I talked about. She goes, oh, yeah, okay. And he did it again. And I was like, and she was like, oh, yeah, this is your cousin. And I'm like, yeah. I said, and so now he's standing in the corner. He's just keeping to himself. And he's letting me explain to him. Yeah, the drug dealers are beating him up and taking all his money. And I just said, I wish I could just find somebody I could get the crack from that won't take all his money and beat him up. And then, right then, I was, as she was thinking, he does it. And I'm like, dude. And then she went after he did that, she's like, I can help you out. I said, you can? She goes, yeah. She goes, I'll take you to my drug dealer. And I said, I appreciate it. And I said, tell her thank you. And then thank you. And I was like, okay, then I'm giving him the sign. Okay, we're in. Let's take a break, Timmy. And so we jump in my car, and she takes us straight up to her drug dealer. There was no concern, no suspicion in her at all. She says, how much you got? I think it was like a couple $100. Yeah, a couple $100. So, we don't have to come back right away. She goes, I got you. We go up to this house. She goes in. I give her the money. She goes in. She comes directly back to my car. And right then, we can get a search warrant for that house because she's what you call an unwitting informant.
Okay.
She doesn't know that she's assisting the police.
Right.
But since we can document that we handed her so much money, she went directly to the house, through that front door, came directly out the same door. A few minutes later, handed me a baggie of suspected cocaine. Now we have a search warrant to get into that house. So, okay, I consider that a victory right there. Right. And
so far, you're 2 out of 3, right?
Well, and then
here we go.
So here's what she tells me. She goes, I said, hey, man, aren't you worried about, I was just talking this talk. I said, hey, isn't this guy worried about people running up to his house and buying cocaine out of it? Because it was in a nicer area than the trailer park, and it was a residential area. She goes, oh, no, this guy ain't got nothing to worry about. Nobody's going to suspect him of anything, of dealing drugs. And I go, why is that? She goes, he's a foster parent. He's got about 8 foster kids up there. Oh. So what he does is he brings in foster kids, and nobody suspects him of dealing cocaine.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So now we go back to her trailer, and we're just talking because, again, we don't know if we're going to be making second buys or anything, so we got to build our backstory in talking, make her more comfortable, talk about buying again or whatever. So as I'm talking to her, who comes out the door is the dog, the star of the show, the dog. And I was sitting there looking at him. And again, like I said, as soon as he came out, since I heard so much about him, I immediately envisioned the dog wearing a smoking jacket and smoking a cigarette with one of them long filters, big long black.
Kind of like Hef.
Yeah, kind of like Hef. Saying, hey, and I imagine the dog was going, I said, chaps, you want to stick around for the show?
So the dog had a monocle?
I looked at that dog and I said, do I dare go for the trifecta? So I started talking about the dog. Hey, nice dog you got there. What kind it was? It was some like great big mutt kind of type dog.
Okay.
And she goes, oh, he's a great dog. He's a one. I just love this dog.
I love this dog.
And then somehow I can't remember what I said. But I thought I'm going to go for it. I started asking her about, and she was thinking about it. And she goes, nah, I don't want to do that today. And I said, okay, don't get greedy.
What'd you ask her exactly?
I was just like, I can't remember, but it was something about, I think it was like, hey, is that dog get a fucking or something like, I can't remember. And she was, and she's sitting there thought about it. I thought she was going to say, okay, yeah, if you pay me so much money, oh, you can watch the dog fuck me. I thought we were going
I need to go have his fingernail or his toenails trimmed before we do that again.
Yes, exactly. And then she goes, oh, we got to go get the canine magnums. But I thought I had it, but at the last second, she changed her mind. And I said, you know what? Be happy with what you got. Uh-huh. You got 2 out of 3. Now, if I could have got 3 out of 3, I would have been the king of the office. I've been walking around with a robe on. But we got it, and those guys from that unit, they went into that house, did a search warrant on that house, locked her up, and then I got her for prostitution. I was able to call that woman back, uh-huh. And she was very, very pleased. Tried to explain to her I couldn't get the last one, but she was okay with that. The woman was out of the trailer park, wasn't selling cocaine to anybody anymore, and wasn't prostituting. But
it was clear that this lady thought about doing this with the dog.
Yes.
That probably was an accurate complaint that she was actually doing that.
Yes, it probably was.
I think you had enough with that to go ahead and write the warrant to have Crime Lab come out and swab the doggy's little lipstick and do a DNA match from with her.
Yeah. I can see the prosecutor signing off on that. Yeah. I don't think they would have went for that at all. Yeah.
Because there's a good chance when the lipstick wasn't shown, she'd have went, come here, let me show you how to do it.
It would be like, okay, put Bosco on the arrest slip.
Bosco.
But that one is, you see, I used to do that all the time. Just try to convince the drug dealer, hey, there's something wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. You would also try to convince them in other ways, like, if they thought that you was bringing them stolen goods. That's another thing. If you somehow were able to convince them that instead of paying for cocaine with money, if you brought them stolen goods, that would also take off the suspicion. So there was just many ways you could do that, and having some sort of physical element was another way that I used to do it.
Yeah, it's genius. You're trying to put them off, put them at ease. With however you can do it. Now,
exactly.
We're not. I just want to make it clear. We're not, mocking mentally handicapped people, but it was just a way to put this lady at ease. Really, your story was really good. He's mentally handicapped and he's hooked on crack, and you're worried about him going out buying from somebody else and getting beat up, and that put her at ease. I will take care of it.
Exactly, because I actually saw people, mentally challenged, mentally handicapped people, that people did get hooked on drugs, right? So they could take their money, because they would get money every month, and they would take advantage of them.
Yes.
So I've seen that, and also I've grown up with a mentally challenged cousin. I actually have one, and so I've all my life I've been around him, and so I just know what the things they have to deal with of people trying to take advantage of them and all this.
And you're saying that in your the course of your career, you've seen folks with handicaps get taken advantage of. in
Right,
in the drug
exactly.
world. And
Yes.
so you
they are
kind of
big target. They are targets.
you kind of develop this plan really from experience that you'd had, you know, or
Yes,
seen.
exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. It really was genius, Super E.
It
Oh,
really
thanks.
good. I just only hope you were able to talk to this young officer about if you do it next time, blurting out an expletive is not necessarily
Right.
the right thing to do that. So
maybe a little more low key, but
Right.
Sounds like it worked out.
Right. Exactly.
It worked. It worked out. It worked out very well because she believed every bit of it, and it made her comfortable, and which also is a safety issue. You know, in any situation, you got to worry about somebody pulling out a gun, no matter who it is. So if she felt more at ease, there's a less chance of her wanting to shoot us.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you got anything else to add, close this one out. You know, another great tale as always there, Super E. Just
the only thing I would say again, what A-Train said, we're not trying to make fun of anybody. It was just used as a tool to try to get rid of a very serious crime and activity that was occurring in this area.
like so many things that we do based on your experience, and this
Right.
you know, that's the route you took, and it worked, other than the doggy didn't get a happy ending.
Yeah,
Poor dog.
I know.
Yeah, old half.
He saw you coming in and thought, oh, there's an audience. Here we go.
Yeah. Showtime.
Exactly.
It's showtime.
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one, everybody, and we're going to go ahead and close this out. A-Train, take us out of here.
Sure will. Bye.